Hey, how's it going? Just want to talk to you guys and gals about something. It's that time of year. It wasn't too long ago. A few weeks ago, sub-zero. Everything frozen solid. Now, sun is out more. Maybe 50, 55. Robins flying around. You know, might lead people to a false sense of security. But the melt, as I like to call it, it's a little hard to explain. Melts is an easy opportunity to get yourself in a little bit of trouble when you're hiking, camping out. Very easy to get wet. I mean, think about basically trudging around. Trudging around in a 7-Eleven Slurpee. Then after that, going to sleep in a freezer at night because the temperature still drops below freezing. So that's very important if you go hiking, you go camping, or as part of your regular survival preps or whatever you got going on. Treat the melt a little bit different than you treat spring or you treat winter. I'm no survival expert, but I've gotten cold and wet plenty of times. I can tell you it sucks. So you see, I've got the Gore-Tex on, Gore-Tex pants. I got the gaiters. I still will take the Catulas because everything's slushy. And when you get to freeze at night, it's a sheet of ice everywhere. Then it thaws and you've got ice on slush, real slippery environment. Let me show you a little something. Look at that. You know, I mean, do the math on that one. Do the math. I mean, you're walking, trudging around that kind of environment like that. You know, it wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much to literally get utterly soaked. So you gotta be kind of respectful. Now, as I said, oh, look at that. As I said, it's still that time of year. I still got a hat. I pack. Still got a coat. Still taking a coat. I still got a poncho. A little survival kit. Things like that. Now why? Well, you know, it could rain. The time of the nice, dry, fluffy white snow, that's gone. I mean, I can get some rain. So now on top of dancing around in a 7-Eleven Slurpee, I then take a nice cold shower and then go to sleep in a freezer. That's the potential setup. And you can see how hypothermia during the melt, despite the warmer temperatures of the freeze of only a few weeks ago, that time, beginning of spring, late winter, based on your area, you can get hypothermia really easy. I mean, so just all you woods apes out there, you know, I just want to make a point. Safety first, frozen dead last. So just take it easy, respect the melt, and have a good few weeks, and go out in it too. I mean, you're hiking through, sinking in up to your knees in slush. It's an opportunity for really good physical activity, exposure to a different type of environment that a lot of people, if you're working or have a busy life, you easily miss these few weeks of the melt and not know, should you ever find yourself out in it. Remember, synthetic clothing, Gore-Tex, unlike Sub-Zero, Gore-Tex now plays a big role out here, a real big role. So I would definitely go on the Gore-Tex, you know, wool. A lot of guys, I have wool socks on right now. Some of you people use more wool, personal preference. Just don't keep away from the cotton, all right? Anybody says, cotton doesn't kill, I read this online, you know what they're doing is they're misinterpreting clothing for extremely cold environment with this environment, okay? So any of those internet heroes out there, no, you can't wear cotton clothing. It's all within context. Everything's within context. And you don't want to wear it now. You really don't. No. You just don't want to do that. All right, so I'm going to pack all this stuff up. I'm also going to go down by the river and show the flooding risks. That's another thing. Another problem with the melt. A lot of small streams that are runoff, they get flooded. Rivers get flooded. You're going across them, the rock's a little wobbly, next thing you fall in. So I'll show you the, I mean, this is obvious stuff. But next, when I find, I'm going along a long hike here, so I'll find a few flooded little spots because of the melt. Hasn't rained a lick. I mean, a little bit last night, but it doesn't have to in the melt. You don't have to have rain to get a flood. That's why you don't want to camp near a river during the melt. Okay, I'll get a move on it. There's also a great deal of beauty in the melt too. Look at that. Very wondrous. Just a sheen. I don't know if the camera can pick it out. It's just a sheen of ice. Get back. Oh, deep snow. Get back out of here. So there's a lot of beauty, but it's also a pain in the backside. So I guess there is no there we are. Oh, sinking down in here. There's no free lunch. No free lunch. Could check out the river, see if there's any flooding. Well, it looks like the river is indeed flooding. Notice another thing about the melt. That's snowpack. That's not rock, that's snowpack, leading right up to the edge. We're going to avoid that. You want to keep away from the edges of unstable snow. It goes in, flopping out water. You know, that would be bad news. That's deep enough, big enough fall. So just common sense in the melt. Snowpack, which was stable before, is no longer your friend. So you want to keep away edges of things, stuff like that. I mean, it's not a big deal, but using your head a little bit really makes a big difference. Keep moving, keep moving. Another little melt factoid, very difficult as usual in winter to tell. Where does the edge of a stream or river start? Where is the snow? I tend to, usually in wintertime I avoid getting too close to the stream, but in the melt it becomes less stable. So all that, you can walk out, slip in, now you got wet feet. So another thing, keep a little bit away from the bank. Common sense, but I've fallen in rivers before like that. Not knowing exactly where the edge starts and the snow begins. It gets undercut, it gets worse in the melt. So be a little cognizant of that as well. Like more deer tracks. Keep on going. Another example of the melt. You see the water is totally muddy. Oh, snow is still deep though. All right, we'll keep going. One real nice thing about the melt kind of got water everywhere. I'll still throw some tabs in there. It's just the way I am. You know, that water, man, look at that. I mean, it's probably the most freshest thing literally on the planet, but you know, how do I know there's not some deer bedding down right up over that little ridge, and there's not a pile of scat and urine filtering through the snow, and then I'd be drinking it. So I'm going to throw some tabs in there. Man, a lot of things. Dehydration, not a concern. Not really a concern here. Wonderful, beautiful environment. Okay, so I guess we'll just cover back over some of the basis there with dealing with the melt. Number one, proper clothing, as I said before. Gore-Tex pants, some gaiters on, Catula's insulated boots, synthetic fleece light jacket, another jacket in the pack. And of course there's the poncho in case it rains, hat, gloves, all that other good stuff. So you got to treat it like the winter. It's funny, under the hemlocks you can feel the cold waves were trapped from the night before. So it's kind of like, you know, if you ever go swimming, warm water, then it gets cold in the ocean, there's warm. It's a bit like that during the melt sometimes. You have cold banks of air, and you go into warm, cold. But that's kind of emblematical of what happens at night. It's warm. During the day, it could be in the high 50s. At night, it could be 20. You know, add in the fact that you're walking around in slurpy slush. You got to avoid the cotton, as I said before. Anybody saying cotton's okay in winter? Certain cotton clothing, yeah. This isn't that type of winter though right now. So now you need synthetics, wool, Gore-Tex, stuff like that. You know, rubberized boots are good too. I've worn them a lot. Generally speaking, I don't really think breathable boots are that breathable anyways. As far as going near water, as I showed, you gotta be careful. Banks, undercut, in you go. You're gonna die? Probably not, but who wants to be totally soaked? You know, hiking out, humiliated, like a wet, dead cat. No, you don't want that. Same thing, you get near ledges, cliffs, you have snowpack. Snowpack is disintegrating. The bonds are holding it together before are breaking down now. So the whole thing you give, that could kill you. That could really kill you. Like that cliff, 25 feet, right into the rushing water, which is over my head below. You know, you don't want any part of that. Basic common sense. Keep away from the edge, any edges. Odds are you're not really standing on the ground. You may be standing on packed down snow, or you may be pushing down to another snow layer beneath. You have, as you know, you get snow where you get like light snow, rain, freeze, slush snow, fluffy snow. You can get different layers in a snowpack. So you can go right down. You think you're on terra firma. You go right up to the edge. Whoosh, the whole pack goes, and you're just dead. That's the bottom line. It's one of the few things you know, it's always great for the survival. You could die. That actually can kill you. Going right off a ledge when a snowpack gives way. So just use common sense. I'm sure everybody here knows it, but I'm just reminding you because I think the melt is awesome. It's an awesome time to get out there, hike around. I'm going camping probably this weekend, 2 or 3 days in the melt. I'm probably gonna love it. And I hike in it every day. It's only around for a few weeks, so go out there and enjoy it. Another thing to keep in mind is that you usually will sink. You'll sink deep. I mean, the snow's packing down, but you're gonna sink deep. So gaiters, tall boots, really keep the snow from getting into your boot. And no one wants to walk home with cold feet. That kind of sucks. Little streams that usually are just little runoff streams can flood. So, and of course, your ice is undermined. You can give away. Again, wet feet. Nobody wants wet feet. Nobody wants to fall in. Nobody wants wet pants. So just be a little mindful that, you know, before you go on your hike, little tiny streams of brooks, which before might not have been a big deal, even though there's no rain or very little rain, now it could be muddy and flooded, and now you're sitting there a mile or something you're hiking, you have to turn back, or you have to risk scampering across and ruining your lower boots or whatever. So keep in mind, flood conditions are very possible. Same thing, you set up your camp. I would keep it away from any area that can get inundated with water, because as I showed before, slush goes right under that snow. You might be setting up camp late, or you might be setting up when the temperature's low and you think you're setting up on ice or packed down snow. Really what you got is this deep water, just pure, utter water with slushiness in it. Now your camp's flooded. You didn't see it before, so it's all part of the melt. So you want to be areas of really good drainage. Bet your hammock would be real nice. I'm going to take the hammock out next week, but that's another matter too. So you always think drainage, always think flood risks, things like that. But it's a great time. I definitely say if you want to go out, have a really good time, you want a physical challenge, because it's tough moving through the snow. Even areas like there's some trails here, the snowpack breaks down, and where the trail used to be a trail, it just gives away. So all right, so go out, enjoy the melt, and as always, thank you very much for watching.